Listo? Listo,
All right. Yeah, everybody ready? Okay. All right. Well, good afternoon, everybody. I'm incredibly proud to be standing here with Colonel Perez and many of the brave individuals who've worked tirelessly to remove illegal guns and drugs from our streets here in the city of Providence. Since entering office, I've known and prioritized increasing public safety throughout our neighborhoods and for our local businesses. The Providence Police Department's Intelligence Bureau has recently completed a meticulous and rigorous 2-year investigation into narcotics distribution on Longfellow Street, alongside several others these last few months on Julian and Clarence Street. As a result of their dedication and hard work, we have seized a substantial amount of dangerous substances and firearms. Through the excellent work of the Providence Police Department, we have 4 fewer individuals distributing illegal drugs in our city. There are 7 fewer firearms on our streets, all of which will make our community safer. These successful operations are a testament to the commitment and professionalism of the Providence Police Department. Today's success is not just about the numbers, it's about the tangible impact that it will have on our community. It's about ensuring that our neighborhoods are safer, that our public spaces are more secure, and that our families can continue to live without fear. These operations are a reminder of what we can achieve when we work together, stay vigilant, and properly support and resource our police department. This is an incredible feat that's going to have a real impact on our community. As promised, we are putting safety and the well-being of Providence residents and visitors at the forefront of our work every day. When I proposed my budget this year, I wanted to make sure that we had the necessary investments in staffing and training. And now we are on our way, after a city council vote last night, to continue these investments with early support from the city council that we expect will now pass next week so that we can continue to properly staff and resource the Providence Police Department. Since January 1st, 2024, the Providence Police Narcotics Unit has executed 113 search warrants, seized large quantities of narcotics, 19 firearms, all under the supervision of Lieutenant David Allen. I want to give Lieutenant Allen and the entire unit my sincere thanks and congratulations, and on behalf of the City of Providence, thank you for your dedication. The professionalism of the Providence Police Department is certainly a leader in the state and a leader in the nation. Our neighbors should rest comfortably knowing that they've got one of the finest police departments in the country looking out after them. We will remain vigilant in our efforts to safeguard public health, enhance public safety, and improve the quality of life for all of our residents. The Providence Police Department is blessed to have incredibly talented and hardworking men and women at the rank and file, in the command staff, and most especially in the leadership of our Colonel, Oscar Perez, who I'll turn the microphone over to now. Thank you. Colonel?
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you all for being here. I'll start with good afternoon, and thank you again for being here today to highlight some of the great proactive police work of the Providence Police Department. I'll be speaking about 3 different narcotics investigations that occurred in the city that were led by the Intelligence and Narcotics Divisions, as the Mayor stated. And also I'll be speaking about an outstanding robbery arrest by the Detective Division during this past month, actually the month that we're in June. I'll begin with the first one, with the narcotics investigation. The first one was conducted at 9 Longfellow Terrace, Apartment 3. Detectives of the Intelligence Division, Desmares, LaBianca, and other members of the Providence Police Organized Crime and Intelligence Bureau conducted a narcotics investigation into a subject identified as Kelvin Fellis, age 53, alias Rafael Soto Tejada. This subject was distributing narcotics throughout the city of Providence. As a result of that investigation, Detective Desmares was able to draft a search warrant and a seizure warrant for Kelvin Fellis, his residence, along with his vehicles, an Acura MDX, a Jeep, and a Chevrolet Silverado. The search warrant also in that apartment led us to 5 kilograms that included fentanyl and cocaine and 2 firearms. The fentanyl net weight was 3,387 grams. The cocaine was about 1,634 grams, and the 2 firearms were a .38 special revolver and a .40 caliber Smith & Wesson. The intelligence detectives also seized 3 high-capacity magazines. One held 14 rounds, the other 2 held 30 rounds each, all for 40 caliber rounds, as well as $11,767 in cash. Keep in mind that once you break this stuff down to street-level distribution into pieces, you're talking about over $1.5 million in value. Feliz was charged with numerous narcotics and firearm offenses. He also has a criminal history and 13 different aliases and names that he went by on record. Lindsay can provide you with that information after the press conference. I can also tell you that he was deported back in 2015 to the Dominican Republic, and he came back to the U.S. The lead investigators again were Investigator LaBianca Desmaris, under the supervision of Sergeant Sean Lafferty. The next one was executed on Julian Street in the city of Providence. Over the last several months, Detective Boyer and Detective Russo of the Narcotics Bureau conducted an investigation of a subject identified as Eric Bicknell, age 44. This individual was distributing narcotics throughout the city of Providence from 139 Julian Street on the 3rd floor. On June 5th, members of the Providence Police Narcotics Bureau executed a search warrant at this residence and seized approximately 70 grams of cocaine, a loaded .44 caliber Smith & Wesson handgun, and $3,524 in U.S. currency, as well as a Lexus motor vehicle. Bicknell also had a lengthy criminal history and was charged with numerous narcotics and firearm offenses. The next one, the narcotics investigation, was conducted at 62 Clarence Street, also in our city. And over the last few months, Detective Silver, Detective Tesseras, and Detective Foley, also of the Narcotics Bureau, conducted an investigation of a subject identified as Anthony Shum, age 25. This individual was distributing narcotics throughout the city of Providence from his residence at 62 Clarence Street, 2nd floor. On June 6, the search warrant was executed. Narcotics detectives then seized 3 firearms, a .45 caliber handgun, a .40 caliber handgun, and a 9mm handgun, all loaded with ammunition, along with numerous loaded magazines, including extended high-capacity magazines, multiple boxes of additional assorted ammunition, as well as narcotics, 121 bags of cocaine, for a total of 125 grams. Also 34 MDMA pills, 59 Adderall pills, and 2,300 in U.S. currency. Chum was also charged with numerous narcotics and firearm offenses. I will now speak about the robbery arrest. On June 2nd, Providence police officers responded to the area of South Water Street for a report of an armed robbery. Through further investigation by detectives, the suspect was identified as Malik Santos, a 25-year-old male who is well known to the Providence Police Department. An arrest warrant was later obtained for Santos, as well as a search warrant for his residence. Yesterday, June 13th, the Providence Police Special Response Unit executed a warrant at his residence located at 33 Vicksburg Street. SRU members made entry into the residence and located Malik Santos, who was also found to be in possession of a firearm. He was tased by a member of the SRU unit, the Special Response Unit, and was then taken into custody. Officers later seized a 9mm pistol with a high-capacity magazine from this individual as well, and 15 live rounds. A search was conducted, and officers also seized another 9mm pistol, as well as various amounts of narcotics and items used for the distribution of narcotics. Santos was charged with first-degree robbery, 2 counts of assault with a dangerous weapon, possession of a stolen firearm, and possession of a prohibited large-capacity feeding device. He resisted arrest and was also charged with assault on police, simple assault, and resisting arrest. The lead detectives in that case was Detective Northrop and Detective Riley, under the supervision of Lieutenant Ludovici. As chief, I am especially focused on ensuring that everyone who lives and works in our city feels safe as we continue to develop and implement crime reduction strategies and focus on community policing. It is important to acknowledge the hard work of the men and women of the Providence Police Department who often work behind the scenes, sometimes within undercover capacities, where their work is not seen firsthand by the public. Year to date, our Narcotics and Intelligence Organized Crime Bureau, together, are responsible for removing a total of 33 firearms from the hands of criminals. The Narcotics Bureau, as the mayor stated, has executed 113 search warrants this year, and both bureaus have seized large quantities of narcotics, up to 26 kilograms of various narcotics, as well as up to $1,231,000 in U.S. currency. As we highlight the outcomes of these investigations today, it is important to know that this work is being done in the Providence Police Department every single day to keep our community safe. We will not lose momentum as we enter the summer months, and our officers will be diligent in removing guns from the hands of violent criminals and dismantling drug and gun operations. Ensuring that firearms do not fall into the wrong hands is a priority of the Providence Police Department to reduce, and in some cases, put a stop to violent crime. We want to keep building on our work, utilizing every resource necessary to us. Thank you, Mayor Smiley, for being here with us today to recognize this significant arrest and for your ongoing support to public safety, sir. I would also like to thank Mayor LaPayan, who's in charge of the Command and Division for the Investigative Division, Lieutenant Ludovici, Lieutenant Allen, and Sergeant Lafferty for their leadership throughout the Investigative Division. Their good work does not go unnoticed. We'll open it up for questions.
What or whom did Mr. Santos rob?
So this was the incident that happened at the Hot Club, in the area of the Hot Club, to South Water, and he actually pistol whipped somebody as well and took some jewelry from the victim at that time. Yes,
One bit.
correct.
And is Santos's arrest that's separate from this, the table of drugs and guns?
Correct. I just wanted to include both, obviously, because it's within the month of June. Is the outstanding work of the detective division, which is a very dangerous situation, and so I wanted to highlight that as well. Correct. And it's different, separate.
And how is this on track or on par with previous years?
Obviously, violence is down. We're still within the double digits. The number is as good as unfortunate. We had our 4th homicide recently, but it's still lower than last year. So.
Are you seeing a lot more high-capacity magazines?
Correct, yeah, a lot more. As you saw here today, we have 2, 3, 4, 5 of them that can hold 30 rounds, 40 caliber pistols. So we're seeing a lot more, but it's not just us, it's the whole nation has had an increase. As you know, the ghost guns, you can build some of these firearms in your own house, but yeah, we're seeing a lot of them.
How would you or the mayor describe the atmosphere as far as crime goes?
I'll tell you, I'll tell you that for us in the Providence Police Department, we have noticed the difference. We hear from the community members. We hear as far as the quality of life being improved. People are talking about that. Our district commanders who respond to some of these crime watch meetings hear it from community members, so it's good to hear that. But you can never call Victory. It's a capital city. Obviously, it's an urban inner city. We get thousands of people that come and visit the city because it's a beautiful city to entertain themselves. And there's also always potential for crime. It's unfortunate, but we just got to stay active to ensure that the public safety continues to be where it's at. In the mes de junio, sí. So the question was, did we recover this just in the month of June? And that is correct. And that's one of the things that I want to highlight as well. Yeah, all these was just all these investigations and the robbery all occurred within the month of June. So.
Do you have any update on the 2 most recent homicide investigations?
Working hard. They're up and going. I'll tell you that I'm always very confident on the work of that division with the capital city. And I always said that I'll put the patrol officers, the narcotics detectives, and the homicide detectives with any police department in this nation. So I'm hoping that, as you know, last year we had 14, unfortunately, and 10 of them were solved. So we're looking for the same and to at least bring answers to the victims and their families. I'm sorry. May you want to say anything else about that?
I just wonder, are you pleased with the police department work?
I'm very pleased with the police department's work. It is, and I've spoken about it many times, there's a proliferation of illegal guns in our city. There is a major problem with narcotics, particularly with fentanyl. As I'm sure you all have heard the statistics, a crystal of fentanyl on top of a pin's head can kill you. And so when you think about us seizing 3.5 kilos of fentanyl and the number of lives that might have saved, we should all be pleased with that. We should be sad that these drugs and guns are in our community in the first place, but nevertheless be grateful that they're now off the street. The men and women of this department, Colonel, Major LePayton, Lieutenant Allen, and the leadership do exceptional work. As the Colonel said, much of the investigative work that's happening, the public doesn't see. and yet we're hard at work trying to make this a safer city. To Steve's earlier question, there unfortunately have been a couple high-profile robberies in the city in sort of public places that have the potential to institute fear, and we take that very seriously. I'm happy that one of the arrests that's highlighted today was one of those robberies. But the year-over-year crime statistics are down in nearly every category, and we will continue to remain vigilant. There's no amount of violent crime that's acceptable to me, nor should it be acceptable to any of us. And yet we work every day to try to work those numbers as close to zero as possible in a city that unfortunately is feeling the effects of illegal guns and illegal drugs. But we will remain vigilant, and I have the highest degree of confidence in the officers of the Providence Police Department.
Colonel, two questions from me. You mentioned Adderall was on the table. Are you seeing a particular problem with Adderall and maybe other substances being disguised as Adderall when people are buying it on the street?
So, yeah, I mean, we have substance abuse, obviously. There's individuals in our city that have a substance abuse issue, and many times our narcotics detectives and patrol officers encounter illegal possession of prescriptions and things of that nature, and obviously other pills. And so, to tell you there's an increase, I'll have to check to see how much more different from other years, but we definitely see it.
Are you seeing like maybe things like methamphetamine have like pressed on markings to make it look like Adderall? That's kind of what I'm getting at.
Yes, yeah, we have seen that. There's been times where we get a lot of that stuff that comes to. It's capital city. We're in the middle of New York, Boston, New Hampshire, and so it all comes through here. So many times, and again, it's the training and it's the experience that these officers have that they are able to identify some of these drugs. But yeah, we do see them. So.
And my other question was about kind of related to the homicides, but you mentioned these folks have criminal histories. Are you looking at them in any other investigations, even the homicides that have happened so far in the city?
So yeah, I mean, there's always again, I commend the work of the detective division. They'll look for any angles, any evidence, any factual evidence. We work with different partners with the federal agencies as well, and obviously the state corrections. And if there's anything that we can come up with to ensure that we can bring people to justice, we will. So we never close the door on anybody. If anything leads us to anybody, any of that criminal element that's creating these problems in the city, we're going to go after them. So.
Okay.
That's it.
When's the next police academy?
It's underway right now.
Number 7. They're there right now. You say at least one police academy. Next year, starting in May.